See, it's on now. You ain't got a lot of time. Well, you got a lot of time. You got 30 minutes, so that means... Yeah.
Okay,
No, you ain't got to rush it, though.
So my name is Frank Castle, or
Mr. Castle if you nasty.
or Mr. Castle if you are in the lifestyle of BDSM, or specifically S&M. So S&M is sadomasochism. The common way to describe it would be submissive and master. BDSM is bondage. Bondage sadomasochism, which basically is, it's a lot of restraint, a lot of rope work. There are several apparatuses where your sub will be blindfolded, ball gagged, restrained to literally do whatever it is that you wish to do to him or her, depending on, you know, what attracts you. Sadomasochism or bondage. So what happens with that is there is a definite subculture of the lifestyle of swinging and orgies and all these wonderful things, because there's a huge spectrum. So a little bit about my story. I am trained. I have been taught to be a master. I am a dom. I am a dominant. And what happens when you're a dominant is you would look to either find a slave or a pet. A pet is actually more of a newer term, and they have certain privileges that slaves don't. I specifically do have a pet, and I only look for pets because with pets, you're looking to teach them not just to serve you, but to help them grow as a person. A lot of times what I've found in my own practice is that pets usually wind up becoming masters of themselves later on. So they learn things about themselves. It awakens kind of that dominant spirit in them, and you're training them to not only serve you and satisfy you, but understand not only their role, but what they want to become later on. Dealing with bondage, there are different types of masters. There are masters who literally want nothing more than to deal with the physical, to degrade, to, you know, beat, abuse their subs, whether it be a pet or a slave. Then you have those who are more, I would say, intellectual, for lack of a better word, or introspective, where they're more about the mind, not necessarily mental games, but doing things that's going to stretch their subs, their pets, their mental limits, have them do things that they didn't think they would be able to do, have them experience things that normally they wouldn't, get out of their comfort zone, kind of think outside the box and act outside the box. The reason why this interests me a lot is I am into history, and you start to go deep as to how this kind of subculture, you know, how far that rabbit hole goes. As far as me, I'm definitely only into women. The things that I like to do is learn a little bit of rope work. Of course, paddles, cat o' nine tails, riding crops, handcuffs, ball gags, things of that nature, blindfolds. I'm not too much into the degradation of somebody, just hauling off and abusing them. Like, again, like I said before, I'm more into the getting them to act outside of the box, think outside of the box, experience things that maybe they were curious about, but either never had the chance to, or just kind of put it off to the side and said, well, I can't do that, or that's, I shouldn't do that. I'm the kind of master that says, well, why not? If it's done safely and everybody is speaking on the same page and operating on the same page, where, okay, this is a safe place, this is what you would like to try, and as a master, it would be my job to make sure that that stays intact.
Okay, so, all right, so when you do S&M, right? Do you guys do this at like public places? Like, do they have like S&M like clubs?
They do have S&M clubs, and a lot of times they'll have certain sections of popular clubs. So, for instance, back in New York, you have several S&M clubs. One that I know of is the Playhouse, which is in Queens. It's for swingers, but what happens is when it comes to those who are in BDSM or S&M, they have a separate wing that has, a stretching rack, which your sub will be tied to a rack, almost spread eagle, and you're able to restrain them. I know down here in Atlanta, Trapeze, I don't know if they still have it, but downstairs they had a separate wing where there was a room for restraints, where you would have chains, you would have chains, you would have a table where you would put whatever it is that you wanted to use on your sub.
Let's see. Okay, so what does it do for you? Like, what is it physically? You know what I mean? Like, what about it turns you on specifically?
The thing that turns me on about it, I'm a dominant person anyway, so it's not the aspect of me being in control. I'm always in control in a lot of what I do. I'm involved in a lot of things. But the thing that satisfies me the most is watching somebody come out of their shell. Watching somebody, who said that they couldn't do something or they were scared to do something, enjoy being outside the box. Watching that moment when, Pandora's box is opened up and they liked it and they enjoy it and they want to learn more about it. Of course, the physical aspects of it, you definitely do. You do have sex and there's different things that you would do with that. But that's definitely the satisfying point, being able to, restrain them in certain ways. The reaction, the control of it has a lot to do with it. But again, it's the reaction of you being the one to have the control and how they enjoy it.